Welcome to my 5th attempt to review this video. I don't know what's going on. My camera is possessed today. I am sorry. I'm getting a little bit angry at this moment. Today we're taking a look at Earthrise Sunstreaker. He is, of course, the update on the Generation 1 figure in the Earthrise aesthetic. He is fantastic. I love this figure already. He's going to look great. As you guys can tell and know if you've watched the channel, I'm a Sunstreaker fan. First Transformer I ever got was a Sunstreaker back in 84 or 85, which I immediately broke. But just to take a look here, just to show you the comparison, he is, of course, a modern update on the original Lamborghini, except he's not licensed, so there's some differences here. He does look fantastic. My only gripes, his hood and where his spoiler should be are two different yellows from the main body, and then the roof here you have to force down to even make it look remotely flush, and even then it doesn't literally look that good. If you don't do it right, you end up with a huge gap here. Otherwise, he is fantastic. He's a fantastic update. He transforms very, very much like the original toy, but if you have exhaust or wheeljack, you will notice that he is very, very similar to that. And just to show you a quick comparison with some of the Earthrise toys, here he is with exhaust and side swipe. Side swipe, of course, is being from Siege. As you can see here, exhaust is bigger, and Streaker is just slightly larger than side swipe, but they do look fantastic. They are fantastic vehicles. Let's go ahead and take these guys out of the way, and then we'll start with transformation and comparing him. But before we do that, we are going to transform the original, the best, the greatest Generation 1. Now, he is old, he is stubborn, I'm being really careful with him because I don't want to break him. Again, his tires are falling apart, as you can see, so if anybody has any information on how to restore him, I would love that. Transformation for him is actually kind of fun. He's one of the more complex Generation 1 toys, especially from that original 84-85 line. And he has a different transformation than anybody else as well. He has this annoying little flat piece that you do have to deal with too. Transformation him otherwise is rather simple. You're going to pull down on the legs. You're going to separate him as far as they'll go, which isn't that far, especially because he's old and doesn't want to do anything. You'll come back here. You're going to come here, you're going to pop his arms out. They do kind of tap in, which is really cool. Of course, now that he's old and everything's kind of sticking together, he doesn't want to transform as much. You're going to take the cockpit here, flip it up. He has this weird seat thingy, folds up, folds in, you slide it up, slide it over, pop his head out, bring his arms down. And because he's Generation 1, he is a parts former, which means, hey, you got to put in some parts to make him work. His standard air-to-rocket missiles here. Now, of course, as we talked about previously, I think I talked about it previously, he was originally supposed to be named Sideswipe, and then something happened and somebody got confused along the lines and their BIOS got flipped. I mean, he has this, which is supposed to be jetpack and pile drivers, etc., etc., etc. Alright, now that we have him here, let's go ahead and start focusing on the big guy himself, the new, the improved, the beautiful Sunstreaker. He is a really fun transformation for me. I really do dig him and enjoy how he transforms. First and foremost, like I said, he is a beautiful update. My favorite part to him, other than how his feet transform, is that you don't have to take off the supercharger like you do on Combiner Wars or Classics. And other than the feet, there's no false engineering, unlike Masterpiece. He's more, really can't really talk about Robot Hero or Alternator. They don't really do anything. They're just straightforward toys. As far as transformation goes, you're going to come up here. You're going to open up the arms. The arms fold in. You can see how they tab in. Unlike Exhaust, this whole part is reversed. Whereas on him, it's the shoulders and arms that fold up, and then the hands and forearms are down here. This does it in reverse. You can bring him up because you need to get him kind of out of the way, but not too much, because you'll see for clearance issues. As far as the legs go, now the legs are your standard Combiner War legs that have been very popular in Transformers over the past few years. You'll be amazed just how tight things can be on this one. You slide out, you fold in, and it gives him that length to him. Feet, and again, I really dig this. You take it, and you swing it up and over, and then you bring down the thing. And I just love it because it's just a fun little transformation. It's just on that nice little double hinge. It gives it a little bit of kick. And you'll see here that because of how he transforms, he does have some pretty damn good ankle tilt. He can go on his tiptoes. It is kind of really, really fun. The next step, I'm going to fold that back down here, is you're going to take the top here and you're going to turn it. And then you're going to turn him back around, line it all up. You're going to take this piece. You're going to bring, oh, got to pop up his head first, sorry. And this is a lot better than exhaust. I don't feel like I'm going to break this one. But yeah, you're going to take it, and you'll notice right now everything's backwards. You got to twist them again. I've tried to do it where you can skip that additional churn, but because of clearance issues, it doesn't really work. But as you can see here, he is really easy to transform. He is really nice looking, though. The last step, of course, is you're going to swing up that supercharger to give Sunstreaker his beautiful silhouette that he's known for. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at him here. His head is gorgeous. He has that little black goatee right here. He does have Sunstreaker's Batwing head. It looks more like the Combiner Wars one than any of the other Sunstreakers, maybe a little bit of the alternator. The feet remind me more of Combiner Wars, but again, he doesn't have a spoiler forming the feet. He is really tight. These joints are tight, which is great. He does have a lot of articulation, especially because of how he transforms. I already showed you some of the leg parts here. The elbow does go forward all the way to just over 90 degrees. It doesn't go back that far, but it does go out. You can turn it on the swivel. Hands, of course, don't move, being that's the standard these days. Head can look side to side. It is on the ball joint, so it can look up a little bit. It can look down a little bit, but because of how this tabs in, if you look down, head will go down. Other than that, there's not really much to talk about. He is gorgeous. He does only come with one accessory, though, and that pisses me off. And that's because it's his supercharger, which then can pull off, and you can tab in as a gun here. And it doesn't really fit his hand. At least mine copy doesn't. And it's a unique weapon, but it looks kind of lame. Or you can attach it as a shield, and that's what Earthrise is all about, is shields for some reason. But I'm not a big fan of using it as a weapon. I do wish he came with more accessories. And in fact, if anybody does come out with the accessory upgrade kit, I will probably be saving up to get it. I do have another copy of him coming in, one to accessorize and one to keep as normal. And as you can see, there isn't really much more to talk about with him. But let's see how he compares with some other Siege figures here. Alright, so here we go. We're going to bring in an exhaust here. And just to show you. And overall, I mean, they're both retools of each other. So, I mean, there's not really much, but you will see that they do look completely different. And how they transform is completely different. Sunstreaker does end up taller, which is ironic because he's the bigger one in vehicle mode. And with Sideswipe here. Sideswipe is slightly taller, again, which is funny because Sunstreaker was larger than him in vehicle mode. But they all look great together. They're all highly posable. If you are a fan of Earthrise or a fan of Generation 1, these are must-have toys. We've all been calling them Masterpiece Light figures because they're very, very reminiscent of what Masterpiece was trying to do, but without doing the whole have to be 100% cartoon accurate, which they really haven't been doing anyways. Fall timber. But as you can see, it is what it is. I can't win today. I just can't win. But let's go ahead and just real quick here talk about him. He does look like a Sunstreaker, as we mentioned. And it's great. If you're a fan of Sunstreaker, this is one that you need to get. It is fantastic. It's not expensive. It's a great update on the original toy. And he looks fantastic. I'm actually, like I said, I'm really surprised he even did Sunstreaker, considering he was never that big of a character and how they've held on to his trademark over the years, I'll never know. Well, now I do know because he keeps showing up randomly in the lines, even if he's never big in the multimedia. He wasn't in any of the Bay movies, very few appearances in the comic books, like I said. In cartoon, he only had a few memorable roles. But that's it for Sunstreaker today. I hope you did enjoy my review, rather. This is probably the last new figure I'll be doing for a while. No, I'm going to do Siege Astro Train. But I'm going to be focusing more on some of the older figures for a while, only because I don't have any more space. I do have a couple more things coming in well, so disregard what I just said, because I will have a couple more Siege toys to review for you. And then after that, we'll be looking at other things. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you want to see, what you don't want to see. And tell me if you like this figure or not. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching.